Well, hello and welcome, and hello and welcome and hello, bienvenidos a todos, y welcome and hello and welcome. Let me add welcome and hello just for good measure, guys. Thank you for joining me on a very special, this is going to be an abridged edition of Un Poco Mas. Of course, it is me. It is it's Danny Deals, it's Hurricane Lopez, it's Little Danny Cornbread DiCarlo. They call me because I am moist, doughy, and I crumble under pressure. Of course, they call me Crisco because I am fat in the can. They've been known to call me the tugboat because I am short in stature. I pull more than my own weight, and I'm rarely far from my home port. They'd call me Stubby Cohiba due to a manscaping accident I had in the early 1980s when I used to manscape with my ancient stainless steel Vitamix. Used to get those blades spinning about 20,000 RPM and just dip the old apple bag down for a little trim. Now, you know, things can go awry when you're trimming your pubic hair with a super powerful blender. Remember, those used to have like a 3 horsepower motor on them, and ipso facto, yada, yada, yada. Now they call me Stubby Cohiba anywhere in South Florida, but that's neither here nor there, guys. Doesn't help you now in this situation. Doesn't help you with your investments one iota. Kind of a metaphor for this whole show. Why would you watch it? How does it help you? It's not advice. It's not entertainment. But it's real. It's real. Anyway, guys, welcome and hello and welcome. It's Un Poco Mas, the show where we give you just a little bit more, guys. Okay, your boy Stubby Cohiba, your boy Little Danny Cornbread DiCarlo, your boy Hurricane Lopez, of course, the great Stock Karen. Because why? Because I'm a huge whiny Karen. I complain about everything. One of my favorite things to complain about, Karen on about endlessly ad nauseum, what really grinds my gears, a la Peter Griffin, shorts, who just don't admit they're wrong. Shorts. So here's another thing. You'd see this candle today and you think, oh, it's down, 2.59%. Okay, it closed up here yesterday and it closed down here today. Otherwise, these candles are virtually identical. I mean, yesterday the low was 39.72. Today the low was 40.10. So it made a higher low today. Yesterday the high was 42.70. Today the high was 43.39. So besides lower volume today, the stock actually made a higher low and a higher high than yesterday. And it's all a fugazi, guys. This price has been fixed since the beginning of the month. I'm about to show you, I believe, why these shorts were just wrong, why they continue to be wrong, why they were just shorting throughout the beginning of March from the 30's heavily, and why the data proves they've been shorting even more heavily in the second half of March. And people are like, well, you're just talking out of your big fat ass. No. Contraire, mon frere. I'm going to prove it to you with cold, hard facts, numbers, data. No, I'm not just a big clown. I can actually read. I made straight A's, don't you know, in my adult education alternative program. Of course, it is pass-fail, so I don't know how you make straight A's. But anyway, guys, so just look at what I'm talking about. Again, I'm going to make this one short. If you want a really bearish article, I mean, this is a completely bearish article that came out today. It's by Wealth. He's mostly a restaurant critic, but he also does, no, I don't know what the hell this guy is. But anyway, so the point I want to make, and he goes over all the accounting stuff and how the board was shady in 2020, and there's still 60% in there, and they're shady now. It's not a bad article. I mean, there's some good information, and I'm not, but what my problem with all these jabronis, these jamokes, these swinging dicks are always talking about is the margin pressure, without acknowledging what management has described and what everyone has acknowledged, which is product life cycle. You're at the very end of an NVIDIA life cycle. They have this old inventory they're trying to get rid of. They've got all this competition. It basically becomes a commodity. Everyone has access to these chips. Everyone can build those racks. Now, with a completely new life cycle coming in with, Blackwell or whatever the fuck it is, Mr. Butterfinger, Mr. Belvedere, whatever they name these processors, I don't know. But so now they explained on the call, margins are going to go back up. You're going to start to see margins rise next year. So, these guys are saying, hey, they've contracted a lot since 20. That's exactly what you'd expect throughout the product life cycle, which is exactly what management's telling you. They just don't want to acknowledge and deal with reality. They want to, go on made ups. They want to snow you. They want to give you a whole bunch of misinformation. They want to throw a bunch of feces at the wall and see what sticks. They want to blind you with science. They just want to just blind you. With all the sizzle, you don't see the steak. They want you to sell the dip and smell the rip. That's what they want you to do, and that's what you do. But look at this is what I want to do. Sorry about that. What am I doing here? This is what I wanted to. What's up, Maria Powell? What's up, Alberto? Clap my dog. Of course, the great wrench, not a lurker. Another equally great wrench, Alberto Berdiablas. Guys, I think everyone would agree. I've got the best moderators in the business here doing Poco Moss. So keep you animals under control. It's not easy. It's not easy. Without these two, you guys would be throwing your feces at each other, probably committing, various heinous acts of depravity. Like spring break all the time here doing Poco Moss. Anyway, guys, welcome and hello and welcome. Thank you for joining me. Who else do we have with us? Of course, the great Clap My Dog, Nicholas Youngworth is here. Old Twinkle Nuts. Well, I don't know if it's going to do that just yet because I don't think they're going to have, shipped much of any Blackwell this quarter. Oh, you mean next year? Yeah, you're right. Absolutely. Twinkle Nuts is all over it. I'm completely confused. You kind of chuckling at his avatar. It's a big saggy pair of nuts kind of shaped like an upside down heart. It's sweet. Anyway, welcome and hello, guys. Welcome and hello and welcome. It's Un Poco Moss, the show where once in a while, almost accidentally, we give you just a little bit more. But so guys, you have to look at both these data sets. Here's the official report, right? So again, Ortex was completely off. So this released today. This goes data through the first half of March through 14 March. Okay, the short increased by 12% in these 2 weeks from 103 million to 115 million. Okay, now keep that in mind and look at these short volume ratios. So we start here on the 3rd. It's 40, it's 38, 41, 41, 38, big one at 46, back to 38. Then we have a couple really high short interests here, 49, 49, and then finally 39. And so this is where the reporting stops off before that 43.75 number. The reason I'm reading you all these numbers, because I don't have 4K, so people can't read these numbers. So I apologize. You have to trust me. I'm reading you the actual numbers. I'm not, trying to give you guys an eye test. I'm not trying to sell you LASIK or anything. But so if you kind of average these out, guys, you get like around 40, maybe 41, something like that. So you see this huge increase, maybe 42. I don't know. I'm not a statistician. I'm not one of those guys, who does a bunch of math. I'm not a micro machines guy. Who talks real fast, look kind of like Luigi from the Super Mario Brothers game. But anyway, guys, I used to like that guy, the Micro Machines guy. Just talk super fast. Remember when I was a kid, get up real early, try to watch cartoons where parents started yelling at you about rotting your eyes. It's going to rot your eyes, that TV. I really got a lot more to worry about. I got a lot more problems than my vision from that TV. You're probably worried about, some peripheral issues. You kept your eye on the ball. I had a lot more issues. No, anyway. So we don't want to get into all of my issues. That would probably that broadcast would last a fortnight at least. Anyway, guys. So if you start to look at these ratios, look at what's happened since. Okay. So then the first day you get 43, 46, 42, 52, 46, and then finally 39. We don't know what it is today, but I'm going to guess it was at least, somewhere in the high 30s, if not 40s. So you see even more shorting through March. And then keep in mind the fundamentals, okay? Here's what I think shorts expected to happen. When they look at where the price action was through the first half of March when they were shorting all these shares. So starts out, closing at 36, then closing at 39, then closing at 38, then closing at 37, 38, 36. finally it closes at 41, then 42. So the last few days, these couple days when they are shorting a little bit more heavily, the stock is, low 40s, right around 40. So, but that's still, it's not like they're shorting, from 56 or from 66 or something. They're shorting from the problem for the shorts existentially is they're shorting from levels where the big boys want to accumulate their shares. It's a no-win situation. They have no outs. They're at the end of a dead end alley. They're trying the doors on the restaurants, but they're all locked. They think about jumping into the dumpster, but the toughs run around the corner. Where are you going? Because sometimes you got to take a beating, but the point is they missed the boat, because I think what they were expecting number one, they're not going to be able to get an auditor. Number two, if they get an auditor, they're not going to be able to finish the work on time. Number three, if they finish the work on time, there's going to be massive carnage, massive write-downs. The number's going to be bad. There's going to be all these fake transactions, all this fake. None of that happened. And then then the business is going to slow down. The business is going to shrink because no customers want to use them. But what do you see in reality? Yesterday, they make the announcement Apple is jumping into this AI data center thing with both feet. And who are their two major suppliers? Yes, one is Dell, but who's the other one? Supermicro. Does Apple not know what they're doing? Does Tesla, Elon Musk, Grok, do they not know what they're doing in terms of AI, who to hire? I mean, come on. Who are you going to believe? Why did if you want to talk about, just bullshit hour, just absolute lies and nonsense, how does this guy, Mike Ng from Goldman, how do you make this call based on margin pressure that, less than a month ago, you want to hold the stock at 56, and today you think it's worth 32 in a sell based on competition and margin pressure, when in that interim, HPE absolutely shit the bed, almost withdrew from the battlefield. So the only real competition as far as the big guys in these contracts is Dell. And you don't think there's enough meat on the bone to go around between two major players? That's what's driving the margin. Dell doesn't want to make money. Dell wants to grind this down to a zero profit, zero margin business. Give me a fucking break. Kramer said Michael Dell's one of the most charitable people he's ever met. He's just a great human being. Everything that man does is for the charitable trust. He lives, eats, and breathes that charitable trust. When he's out on his yacht, eating 5-star meals, drinking, incredibly expensive bottles of wine, just living a lifestyle any human being could only dream of as a billionaire, it's all for the charitable trust, guys. I'm sick of these real charitable billionaires. Warren Buffett gave all his money to Bill and Melinda Gates. Yeah? Fuck you all. Thought you were supposed to eradicate malaria by now. You got measles running rampant through Texas. Things are weird out there, guys. Things are weird. Things are crazy in the streets. But what's really going on? So who are you going to believe? Then JP Morgan comes out and does real analysis, and they raise their revenue forecast to $39 billion. And with a brand new Blackwell product rolling out, that how are you going to sell anybody that Dell has better liquid cooling technology than Supermicro when everyone knows that the opposite is true? How do they keep selling this bill of goods, these lies to you retarders? It's lies on top of lies on top of lies. The accounting stuff, that's legitimate. Why Ernst & Young resigned? They didn't trust management. Okay, fair enough. Management didn't, have independence. The audit committee did not have independence from the board or from, the executives, whatever it is. Fine. Why haven't they changed all these people that they were supposed to change? I don't know. That's a great question. And it's a very fair question. But if margins expand and they do this 40 billion conservatively, how can these guys put these prices on the stock? I mean, at $32, you're talking about 70% of this year's sales, which is almost over. You think, okay, the company must be losing a fortune, drowning in debt, sales falling through the floor. And the opposite is true. It's all made ups, guys. They were wrong. They were wrong. They were wrong. They were wrong. They shorted all through here. They're shorting even more and more through here. And Ortex shows, what is this, 106 million? The shares short right now are probably over 120 million. Easily. And you have to put that in context, guys. You have to put that in context of who owns this company. Institutional ownership up to 334 million shares, over 56% of the company. Susquehanna downgraded this thing, their price target's $15, right? You believe that? Their analysts, I'm not lying, guys. I'm not lying. This is real. This is real stuff that they actually sell you on a day in and day out basis. And you guys, you bend over and take it because you're jerks. You keep buying the top on FOMO and then panic selling at the bottom. Where's that wet sack of crap Medi from Susquehanna? There he is. $15 in a sell. Okay. Meanwhile, his company has, 26 million shares. Yes, they reduced their ownership somewhat, but if you thought the stock was worth $15, why wouldn't you have sold all the shares at 56 before the full? Why wouldn't you have sold all the shares when it popped up to 66? Why wouldn't you sell all the shares now? I mean, maybe they have. That could come out in next quarter's filings. But if you think a stock's $15 and it's sitting, today it was up to 43, that's almost triple what you think the stock is worth. Wouldn't you dump all those shares, or is it all a fugazi? Like Lefty's ring. Oh, guys, I don't know. I see this stuff and it just drives me crazy. Not because I'm not trying to help myself. I'm going to keep buying because I think I know what this company is worth. I mean, keep the fundamentals. Last year, they grew 110% on the top line. This year, they're going to grow 54, 55%. Next year, 60. Management saying could be 70+% growth. So re-accelerating into growth, margin expansion coming back with the new product life cycle, partnership with, NVIDIA stronger than ever. They have new products coming out for, I believe it was Intel, AMD, huge new product lines all the time. Constant innovation, constant expansion, another new campus in the Bay Area. I need a third campus like I need a fucking hole in the head. But who am I to question Uncle Chucky and Aunt Sarah? I think they're going to mainly use that campus for wine storage. At least that's what I'm told on Telegraph. They accidentally sent me all their plans, for the entire company. I was in a text with a drunk Pete Hegseth. Oh, it was fun. Anyway, guys, welcome and hello and welcome and hello. So this is what happens. And then if you actually go through, I mean, just for fun, like not for nothing, but go through and find Goldman. Okay. So here's Goldman. Now just look, this is basically nothing because this was a 9-to-1 conversion. So these are very small positions. Premium core ETF, increasing their position. This one they sold out of. I don't know what that was. Here's another one, Goldman Sachs, Russell 1000, increased their position because this was a 9-for-1. So 951, it's a small increase. Another increase, another increase, another. So Goldman owns, quite a lot of this company. I mean, this one, they're increasing their shares, 3,000%. It was 900%. So that's basically a 3x increase on that one, a little, 30% increase on this one. But again, if you believe that's what this company is worth and you thought it was worth $56 yesterday, it's worth $32 today. I mean, they have all kinds of positions, short, long positions, straddles, strangles, basically anything you can, grip a wing with. They basically have that type of play on the stock. But, they have a lot of positions. Goldman Sachs, Global Managed Beta Fund, institutional shares, no change there. So very few shares. But I don't know. That doesn't really prove anything. But I just want to make the point that these analysts who are downgrading and upgrading wildly, seemingly without any rhyme or reason. The rhyme or reason might be they have like 8 different trades, on the stock, and 5 different ETFs and whatever else at their trading desk. So just don't think these are disinterested parties. Like, they get their paychecks, but if you look at all these positions, it's a sea of green in these filings, and that's reflected in the institutional ownership. And then, go from there and look at the insider ownership. This isn't right because this hasn't all converted, but they show 160 million shares insider ownership, and then start to add up what's left. I mean, if there's, thank you, my good man. Birdie is swinging the wrench with vigor. He's got to get some exercise, man. Got to get some exercise. It's like when we were out on the yard together. I used to sit in the chow hall a little long. Birdie had my back. But it was minimum security. We were basically in for being too good with options. They suspected we must have been cheating, but we weren't. That's just how good Bertie Alberto Avalos is with options. Anyway, guys, welcome and hello, and welcome. That's really all I wanted to talk about, is just what's going on. If insider shares are actually 160 million, which they probably are, because Uncle Chucky, they own, hundreds of millions of dollars. They made such a big deal out of them selling like $2 million worth of stock. And Sarah just needed a case of wine. That's all that was. Like I said, she plays the ponies heavy. She's boxing exactas like she's boxing up fine wine down at Bevmo, on the 5-cent sale. Hey, heavy drinker. What can I say? I don't know. I'm just speculating because they didn't save those fucking trees. They built a winery instead of saving the trees. Oh, it's a mortal sin, Everybody's got an opinion. Who's this? Not a lurker. Was Birdie going wild? Birdie banning everybody? Dude, hey, it's not good for business, but I'm not going to question. I gave Alberto Birdie Avalos a wrench, and if he wants to abuse that authority, he can abuse that authority. I gave his nephew a wrench. I don't even think that guy exists. But start to add it up, guys. So 160 million, then institutions own 57%, insiders own 27%. So is that 84%? And then there's another 125 million shares sold short. Add it up. There are no more shares left. These shorts have no idea what they're doing, no way to do it, no plan. The basic plan was the company's going to fall apart. Everybody's going to jail. All the numbers were fake. It's Enron. It's MCI. But this company wasn't that. This company's a family-owned business that does business with other companies owned by the guy's siblings, which is not a crime. You're just supposed to disclose it properly. But those are real sales, real numbers. Those firms specialize in certain things. They go back and forth. Liquid cooling being one of them. They build the physical racks, and there's nothing wrong with it. The guy's helping out his dim-witted siblings. So what? Uncle Chucky's a charitable genius. Just because he chose not to save those trees, you guys want to judge him. He doesn't spend money on fancy suits like Anthony Noto does on, windbreakers and hair gel. The man wears a blue blazer he got at the Goodwill in 1982. Greater San Jose chapter. Paid $1.50 for it, and it's still serving him well today. Why upgrade, guys? It's not electronics. You got no Delta. Got no Delta on that upgrade. Why do it? Thing's a little threadbare, brass buttons showing through. Not solid brass, guys. It's not even plate. It's paint. It's brass-colored paint. Oh, much to Aunt Sarah's chagrin, but that's just how these things go, guys. That's life. It's life when you're investing. Anybody know what I was talking about when I started? Mini waters. Mini waters. No, guys, I severely dehydrated. I've only had like 68 waters today. I think that's a total of like 4 regular waters. Oh, those are good mini waters. All right. Back to a serviceable level of hydration. Just had 3 mini waters in rapid succession. Got a little on my glasses, but this is the price of comedy, folks. Don't worry, I have like 3 more cases of mini water right here above my finger. Anyway, guys, so my point is, these guys could be setting up an epic short squeeze because Vanguard and BlackRock own everything, State Street, and they decide what's going to happen. And these little penny ante shorts that are shorting all these shares have absolutely no power. They have no hand. Ask George Costanza about hand. They have no hand. Vanguard, BlackRock, State Street, they have hand. Janes, Susquehanna, FMR LLC, Citadel has hand. These other penny ante shorts that don't know when to flip have no hand. Remember I said the shorts turn on each other. They eat their own. Some shorts have power and foresight. Other shorts are just playing pocket pool with a blindfold on. But we've all been there. Oh, Eric Stats got his back up. He's going to agree to nothing. All right, Eric. Don't try to convince Eric. He's got a backwards hat on. What's up, Katie Wentworth? What's up, Clap My Dog? Yeah, I would put you on the board. Golden Retriever lovers are always better people. Who do we got on the bat phone? SMCI. Oh, yeah. Thank you, Not a Lurker. I didn't figure out what I was talking about. SMCI. That's it. Yeah, so actually, you know, SoFi I think is looking really good. That was a nice retracement there. Held very nicely. I think SoFi is looking pretty good. Somebody asked me about that earlier. Might do a SoFi video. I want to do a UBX video. They just lost 30% of their value. I had a chance to really go into that phase 2B Aspire study data and go through it. And basically they just, as an anomaly, it's not that much different what happened with their AMD study a couple years ago, or a year and a half ago. They picked a blended average of the 20 to 24 week, data as their endpoint. And, aflibercept looked very good in that week. If you picked almost any other point, UBX 1325 was sound for non-inferiority with aflibercept and the other standards of care. So the data did not warrant that drop. I was buying UBX today. I will be buying UBX tomorrow. I listened to the entire call with CEO Anirvan. Oh my gosh. They had one of the preeminent ophthalmologists, or whatever the medical doctor one is. I never remember if it's optometrist or ophthalmologist. I believe it's ophthalmologist, kind of like Barcelona, ophthalmologist. It's a weird word to say, isn't it, folks? It's fun. Say it with me at home if you don't have children around. But anyway, this guy's from UCSF. I always fuck up his name. It's Robert, I think, Black Chica or something. Guys, if you want to buy UBX, listen to that call. It's for free on video. You just have to sign up for that Life Science Advisors account. It's all free. You get free life science for the rest of your life. And you get advisors too. Because if you have life science, you need somebody to advise you on it. Because who knows what the hell life science is? Oh my God, guys, we're down to like 3 mini waters. I had 3 mini waters less than 3 minutes ago, and I am absolutely parched, guys. This is ridiculous. Oh, it's good mini water. Excellent mini water. Excellent. 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 So anyway, guys, who's going to pick up all these mini waters off the floor? Wish I had a cleaning staff. Wish we had a budget for that here doing Poco Moss. But we got to start paying Birdie and Not a Lurker before we do that. Anyway, guys, so 57% institutional ownership, 27% insider ownership, 24% of the stock sold short. You're at more than 100 already, guys. There's nowhere to go. This stinks of a massive short squeeze at the behest of BlackRock, because that's what they do. They're the puppet masters. They tickle the balls of the market. Tickling your mini waters. Ask me about my wiener. So anyway, guys, just do what you will with this information, if you could call it that. But the data proves they're shorting even more late March than they were early March. And there was a lot of good news in those filings, guys. Yes, margins are looking rough, but this is to be expected. It was the same thing that happened last time NVIDIA released a new product. Their margins went way, way up to like 17, 18 instead of 10 or 12. So if margins go up by 5% and sales go from 24 billion to 40 billion while margins are expanding, what's going to happen to EPS, guys? Where are those multiples going to go? Forward EPS, even with what analysts are already predicting, is only 9. And with what, JP Morgan and management are predicting, is probably 8. And forward EPS for Dell is 10. They're getting better multiples because they don't have the accounting stuff, but their business is stagnant. There's no growth there. How do you not give any value to a company growing the top line 60, 70% the last few years? How do you even pretend that's reality of how you value a stock, how you value a public company? Why haven't insiders been dumping all their shares if this thing is all a scam? Why have institutions been buying every single share they can at these fixed levels between, 36 and 44, and more specifically between 39 and 42? Why are they grinding it here? Why are they trying to grind every single retail share out? Because they're going to run it up, and they don't want you along for the ride because you're dead weight. You're no fun at parties. You never bring anything. Oh, Marty brought a bag of chips. Thought you were going to bring tequila, Marty. Oh, no, I thought I had chips. No, you had tequila. Well, chips are less expensive, less costly. Yeah, I know, Marty. You're a cheap piece of shit. I don't know why we invite you. Because I'm a good bowler. This isn't the bowling league, though. Anyway, guys, I don't know what I'm talking about. Feel like having a couple of more mini waters, drowned in my sorrows. Oh, anyway, anything interesting going on over here in the comments? Let's see. Did Alberto ban everyone? Nobody left. Ben Kahan is here. The small waters. Isn't that a nice touch, Ben? I had to go down to Smart and Final, buy those. Just for effect, because I'm that big of an idiot. Thumbs down, folks. Thumbs down. That's I'm telling you out. Okay, Birdie. Birdie wants a thumbs down, wants you to unsubscribe, or he's going to hit you with his wrench. It's going to 60. I bet a small doesn't bottom. I think it's going to all-time highs. I don't see how you can pretend this company is in the wrong place. Okay, it's AI. They're agnostic. Even if somehow Intel makes a leap or Taiwan Semi makes a leap or AMD, they're still going to use super micro hardware, super micro vendors, super micro sales. They have one of the strongest sales networks in the world for this stuff. They have more capacity to make it than anyone else. They have faster delivery than anyone else. They have more density than anyone else. They have more efficiency, less energy consumption than anyone else. This notion that Dell is ahead of SMCI in these data center liquid cooling, any of it, it's bullshit. I don't know anybody credible who's saying that other than, and I said anybody credible. Kramer declared Dell was the winner, and he has no idea what he's talking about, in my opinion. If you want to talk about mustache wax and polishing your head and charitable trusts and inexpensive, sensible brown slacks and clip-on ties, guy who looks like a, creepy assistant principal chaperoning a junior high dance, looking real sweaty and clammy. Now, Sarah, that's too close. I don't like it. Oh, Anthony Noto, he's a friend. I love him. I don't know. I can't do it. Oh, God, I hate everybody. I hate everybody. For the guy who was saying he's a mental health professional or woman said, I'm fine. You're wrong. You're wrong, sir. How dare you, sir? To quote the great Harrison Ford, who lands the wrong place. How do they let that guy still fly an airplane? He just landed in the complete wrong place. He's Harrison Ford. He was Han Solo. Yeah, but he's like 95 years old. He has no idea what he's doing up there. What does this have to do with SMCI? I don't know. Hope you're not talking about me, Katie. The Great White Feather's joined us again. The Great White Feather. That's not a conversation I want to be part of. Talking to Alberto, of course. You know, Alberto, not alert predominate these chats. Goldman Sachs, these nuts. I couldn't agree with you more, Ben. 39 billion. That's a joke. I think it could be mid 40s. I mean, I think this is things absolutely. The Apple thing, everyone is, hyper scaling. Apple just with botched their Siri. I don't know if I have the article or if it's if it showed up in terms of Supermind. Yeah, there it is. Apple joins AI data center race after Suri mess. Like they have to play. They have to chase. And they're going to use Dell, but they're also going to use SMCI. And if they want to play catch up fast, they're going to be heavy on the SMCI and light on the great humanitarian Michael Dell, who's the best guy I know. I have Michael Dell in my charitable trust. I have him in my pocket. Billy knows slow dancing. No, buy, sell, buy. I don't know. Buy high, sell low. Booyah. Booyah for bald assholes, folks. Booyah for bald assholes. That's all I've got, guys. This show is even worse than usual. What a piece of crap. We got the great Maria Powell. She'll pack it in a safe place. Believe me, he's already got that thing lubed up and keistered. Clap my dog. It's raining money in SMCI. I don't know about that. It's raining sideways price action. It's raining money if you sold covered calls last 2 weeks. But how do you do that? And then the stock pops to 60 all of a sudden. You're left holding your pud. We all have to watch out for Alberto Naughty Lurker. All of us. I said naughty lurker. Oh, I forgot. I thought we were doing OnlyFans. Naughty Lurker produced my OnlyFans also. So sometimes I get a little bit confused. But the trauma, the things you see and the trauma that's caused him. Good man. What a trooper. 70% growth. I clap my dog, but it's real. It's right there in black and white. Even the statements Ernst & Young audited, it was there. Yeah, don't trust management. Okay, don't trust them. Let them make you money. Hold their feet to the fire. You guys don't want to. Guys, I'm man boobing for fun and profit. I've lost most all my man boobs, guys. I've been losing weight. I might duck under 300 pounds here. I'm working the fat man workout, guys. I'm working the guns. Don't trust a thin analyst, and don't trust an analyst without a 20-inch python. Fat man workout, guys. 5 sets of preacher curls and a chicken quesadilla. Yeah, hope all is well, guys. Hope nobody has any problems. I don't have time to read these comments. I think Alberto banned White Feather. Shit happens, but we'll bring you back, White Feather. Alberto tried banning me. I don't think you could do that, Alberto. I think I have moderator privileges. What's up, Javier? Yeah, I'm trying, man. They can't hold it here that long, guys. They've been holding it here right at this level all month. And I think market makers have accumulated all the shares. Insiders won't sell any retail that was going to sell. They would have sold on that dip to 35. Were they going to push down again to 38 and scare us? Why? You're holding a stock that, in my opinion, is worth at least $89 right this minute. What are you going to sell it in 30s just because you have a tiny willy? You can't afford a lifted pickup truck to compensate? The compensator. This thing has 36-inch tires. Dude, I'm starting to see people with those, those pickup truck mounted camping tents. These people don't even go anywhere. I'm tired of the weekend warriors who are buying all the gear but never do anything. How many Range Rovers must I endure in a traffic jam on a freeway? Don't even have one nick in the paint because they've never even seen like dirt or sand. Or why do you have a Range Rover then? Even that you have a Discovery with like rims and it's all prepped for like off-road, overland, Paris-Dakar rally. But you're just a fat, middle-aged douche with too much money. I'm doing great down with the law firm. Yeah, the kids are well. They're in private school. Got a second Range Rover. Well, listen, that's just great. And I got a message right back for you. No, guys, I love white people with too much money and Range Rovers in Los Angeles who've never been off the pavement. And I love people. I have a lot of faith in humanity. I love people who talk. Guys, I haven't snapped and severely beaten anybody, in a while, at least a couple of days. But no, the next one is going to be the person like the overconfident real estate agent or whomever that is just talking at like really loud on his phone while he checks out in the grocery store and does not acknowledge the checker, the clerk, the bagger, just talks really loud about his big transaction, about his huge swinging dick, how he's just got a salt and pepper, thing going on with his hair right now. He's really just got a huge set on him, huge cack and bells on him. I am going to beat that guy. I'm going to give him the beating that his parents should have. A little beating just from Un Poco Moss. And I'm a pacifist, guys. I don't normally beat people within an inch of their life just for a social fox paw. But I just can't, because I'm seeing the look on the checker's face. Like, she's looking at me like, come on, dude, really? You can't just hold the phone down for like half a second and acknowledge me while I hand you your shit and give you good customer service with a smile on my face while you dehumanize me and, treat me like an inanimate object. Did you know this is not self-checkout? I'm actually a human being here. I don't care. Hey, bro. He's like, hey, bro, I just got a new Lambo. I'm like, you still have the tiny dick? He's like, yeah, bro. I still got it. It's in mint condition, barely used. I bet, bro. Oh, God. I don't think this has that much to do with stocks anymore. Oh, my God. I didn't scroll down enough. The great Savage of Wall Street has joined us. What does Savage have to say? Please look into sound financials. I don't do sound financials. That's strongman's impression. I do ranting and idiocy. Better than SMCI, and I love SMCI. Okay, what's the ticker symbol on that one? Not Soundhound, is it? I'm so sick of people talking about Soundhound. It's AI, don't you know? Yeah, I know. So many mini waters, dude. I'm making it rain mini waters. They cost the same as the normal waters. They're basically stealing 4 ounces of water from you and destroying the environment. That's what you get with mini waters. Facts, White Feather. Sound timeline. What's the trigger? I mean, Ian, their fiscal year 2026 starts in July. Okay. They're saying they're going to go from little less than 6 billion per quarter to more than 10 billion per quarter in that fiscal year. Now, yes, there's margin pressures and there's EPS pressures and there's cash flow pressures because they have to pay for all this stuff they're selling, and it's not a super high margin business. Oh my God, guys. I'm going to throw up. I drank too much water for that bit. Oh, like my stomach is like, if you've ever driven like an RV with like all the water tanks full, it's like, you think the thing's going to tip over. Some of those RVs, they didn't place the tanks like really low. Tanks are kind of high up, so you feel like you're just going to tip over. Anyway, that's neither here nor there, guys. Goldman sucks. New Hindenburg. Yeah, that was a good comment. Two brothers make strong comments. Hey, let me put my brother on the phone. Are you guys interested in this material? It's like, I'm interested, but I'm not sure about my brother. If you've never heard Doug Florentine crank calls, it's funny. We're down to the Savage portion of our program. Good afternoon, my fellow simpletons. We are okay, Savage. How are you? Optometrist, eye test, ophthalmologist. Yeah, ophthalmologist is the MD. There you go, the surgeon. That's what I thought. Optometrist, you go and you get the glasses. And the ophthalmologist is the medical doctor. Okay, sold another cash secured put, SMCI, got $5. That's pretty nice premium. So 40 strike, June. Oh man, you just the only thing you hope is that you don't get like some kind of announcement of like, Justice Department charges, and they'll probably it won't really make any difference to the fundamentals. They'll probably use it to attack, but who knows? You already collected the premium. It's not going to go too low. I think it's a good deal. Like I said, guys, despite me sometimes buying calls and having hunches, you're far better off selling options. You're far better off collecting premium, letting the power of time decay work for you rather than against you. Most people who sell options and are disciplined and have a system, you're going to win over time. The percentages are in your favor. May the gods be in your favor, whatever they said at that Mockingjay bullshit. That whole movie was to get that, what's her name, Sarah Lawrence in a tight outfit. Hey, what do we'll get Pip over here in a fucking spacesuit from Star Trek? Is like, well, what are we going to do with Sarah Lawrence over here? Well, let's put her in something that really, accentuates her, acting skills. Shoot the whole movie from the back. I still say Winter's Bone is one of the best movies I've ever seen. I mean, her acting in that is just fucking incredible. She's a great actress. I know her name's not Sarah Lawrence. Jennifer Lawrence. Is that right? Very talented. It's a shame she had to work with that goofball Bradley Cooper. And everybody's saying that guy's some fucking genius. I'll tell you two things. Bradley Cooper is not a genius. Three things. John Hamm is not a genius or even a good actor. And Jamie Dimon from JP Morgan is also not a genius. Those are three people I can assure you are not geniuses. Ben Affleck, also not a genius. And that one shocked me because he has a giant forehead. So that one really caught me a little bit off guard. Oh, who are all these people? I didn't know I had a brother of that name. Do you think two brothers? You think you have problems? See me. I think I got like 4 or 5 of us. Almost got a half dozen. Let's see. My mom couldn't stand it. Let's see. Can Savage. San Francisco. Savage in the Bay. Simo. Mini waters, a thing for us only. A thing in the U.S. I don't know, Simo. Mini waters are idiotic. Mini waters are incredibly stupid, and I'm obsessed with them. I hope you're not talking to me, Savage, fat boy. I don't eat chicken wings. I don't drink beer, and I'm not in my house. I'm in my office, and it's already right on the ocean. I moved from one oceanfront office to another oceanfront office. My house is by the ocean too, so screw you guys. But I don't get nearly as many nice vacations you guys have. Savage, Alberto, you guys are vacationing constantly. Because why? Because they sell options. They don't buy options. They collect premium. If you run a correlation between vacation time and selling options, you get a very strong correlation. Very strong. Very strong. Oh, Savage and Alberto were talking to each other. Man, it was a beautiful day here today, too. Absolutely. Sell puts, sell calls, and fill your pockets. There you go. Premium agrees with Savage, agrees with Alberto, agrees with everybody smart. Yeah, buy low and say, yeah, I mean, Savage, I was loading 20. I mean, I was buying as fast as I could. I sold the top, but I'm loaded again. I'm really loaded up on this bad boy. I mean, I plan to make a couple $1 million on this thing. I think this is going to go back up to all-time highs. I don't think AI is going anywhere. I think SMCI, their core competencies, the last 2 decades plus of experience with liquid cooling, I think, nope, you can't fake that. You can't make up for that. You can't catch up to that. They had the perfect skill set competencies for, this AI data center explosion, GPU explosion, whatever you want to call it. They're the best at this. They have an incredible amount of demand, an absolute tsunami of demand, and they're prepared to deal with it. Yes, they had some cash flow issues going back to this Ernst & Young knife in the back at to Ernst, at to Young, Judas. I think their main auditor there was Judas Iscariot. That's quite a coincidence, like the guy who betrayed Jesus. I know. My parents were big fans of the Bible. I'm not sure if I want an auditor named Judas. Well, Uncle Chucky, you got one. Aunt Sarah likes me. Look at the look on her face. Aunt Sarah don't dance. Not even a little bit. Never trust a skinny person in general, Savage. Never trust anyone who, like you and me, does not have a jauntily placed ball cap. Never trust anyone who doesn't have glasses. Never trust anyone who also, like us, does not have a beautiful, round, trustworthy face. Clap my dizzle, drinking the Kool-Aid, and going to unload a grip of GME covering calls. Oh my gosh. You guys are all over the place, man. GameStop in it. Okay, white feather on a large boat or a large boat. I'm looking to buy a large boat, but I got to pump this turd up to all-time highs before 3 times a year you get using the mountains. Let's go. Help you. Called Range Rover equals small. Indeed, clap my wing, and I want one big time because if I'm gonna go through life with a small wing, I at least want that Range Rover. No, I don't want a Ranger. I'm a Tahoe guy. I'm a C10 guy. But one of my fancy car is a nice loaded Tahoe. And Tahoe, you spend $100,000 on that too. Doesn't make your dick any bigger, but for me, it's practical, and I feel I like it. It's comfortable. I'm not even comfortable in a Range Rover. It's too pointless and fancy. It's like, why do I want a truck that's like that? Other than my tiny dick. Oh man, dude. One of my favorite things, guys, and the great J Money Not a Lurker remind me this is Big Dog Little Dog. Dude, if you have Big Dog Little Dog situation, like in his case, he has 3 big dogs and 1 tiny little pupper dog. You have Big Dog Little Dog situation. I just love that. Big guy, little guy. Mismatch. Just weird mismatches. Anyway, guys, we got Alfredo Perez. Let's go. Range Rovers suck. Rivians. No, Rivians are really nice. They have a really nice fit and finish. They burn a lot of money on each car, but I mean, the fit and finish to me is a lot better than Tesla. It's just Rivian feels like a really premium product, and they drive really nice. I don't own one, but they're really cool. I like Rivians. I agree with Savage on that. I'd much rather have a Rivian than a Range Rover personally. What's up, Bookend Tackles? Great. I'm not an Eli fan. You know, I'm not an Eli fan. I believe Eli was special needs. I believe Eli just closed his eyes, said a prayer to baby Jesus, and threw that ball up toward the sideline. Should have been out of bounds. It was a great catch. I believe Eli is the luckiest son of a bitch to ever walk the face of the earth. And personally, I'm a Cooper Manning fan because I like financial advisors, financial planners, like hedge fund guys, like people that trade on their name. What the hell is this? Yeah, I know. Not a Lurker has the right Tundra, the 5.7, the one that's not going to break down on you and grenade the motor all of a sudden. A bunch of metal fragments are flying around the goddamn turbo. Not a Lurker sensible. Say, honey, you going to pay for a haircut every 2 weeks? No, I'm just shave the head. Put the money into stocks. All right. Yeah, man. The music. There's I have these guys. They're actually super nice guys. They're like older black guys, and they ride these custom Harley Davidsons. And they have stereos on those Harley Davidsons that you can hear them for blocks. And honestly, I'm not going to complain because they're pretty fucking awesome. And I love motorcycles and I love stereos. But yeah, my thing is just, they're down by the beach. They're having a good time. Just Savage, if we could just put it down to one rule, don't be an asshole. Stop being a discourteous, impolite, selfish, poorly raised asshole. Be a decent human being. Realize there's other people. We're living in a society here, folks. We're living in a society. Let's go, not a lurker. Selling premium, letting time crush the. Yep, you're right. You're absolutely. And I am with a gambler sometimes. And I'll admit that freely. I succumb to these. I'm not disciplined. I was going to do a video. I think COVID, the pandemic, made me a less disciplined investor. The whole SPAC thing, crypto. I started playing in all these things. I used to be very, very disciplined for many, many years, decades. I would just add to Microsoft since the 90s. I'd be like, nothing is going to stop me. But, COVID, like, it just changed everything. And then all this online brokerage, you do everything. Like, yep, I know, not a lurker. I already said that. But, it's just premium of the options, absolutely right. Savage is right. Birdie's right. Selling options, TJ is right. Wheel strategy. And you don't even have to run a full wheel strategy. You could just sell covered calls on your holdings, and that would make a difference. That would move the needle on your portfolio over your lifetime. Even if you just sold some puts and calls based on the direction you thought the stock was going to move. And even if you're wrong, it's no big deal. You can roll out of your position. You can get called. It's not the end of the world. Don't be afraid of selling options. There's nothing to fear. You just got to learn. It's just information. Ignorance is your enemy. Information is the cure, right? Anyway, guys, this has been absolutely the most fun I've ever had. Yeah, Billy Jack loves him some wings. I think he meant wings, because we all know Billy Jack is good. Good down home Texarkana people definitely don't love him some wings. I don't know. Sure, there's gay people in Texarkana, but couple of $1 million, dude. Who are you, Jason Bourne? No, I started out with nothing, and I've been very lucky. I got on, like I said, I bought Microsoft in 96. I've been buying ever since. I bought Tesla in 2016. I made some good decisions. I got lucky, Yeah. I plan to make millions of dollars on SMCI. Will that actually happen? I don't know. I've already made a lot on those first two runs. I put an awful lot in the bank. I'm playing with house money at this point. I don't do this for fun. I do this to make a lot of money. I wasn't on here pumping SoFi every day for my health. I made hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands. Yeah, I'm doing this for real, guys. I'm not fucking around. I'm not, meet Tevin. I'm not, a billionaire. But I'm trying to build something here, guys. Something, bigger than just my workaday life that I was born into. Anyway. Yeah, dude. Blue cheese is a must, Billy Jack. Yeah, what's your favorite? I like Crystal hot sauce. I know everybody will go Frank's. The recipe is Frank's and butter. You don't need all that butter. A little olive oil does just fine. I don't think that butter really. A wing, even if you properly render those rings, there's not that much fat left in the skin, and they're nice and crispy like they should be. You just, for that unctuous mouthfeel, there's plenty of fat in the wing. Why do you need to add a stick of butter? Are you trying to kill me with an infarction? Come on, Billy Jack. But Louisiana, I prefer Louisiana over Frank's, but my favorite, I think, is Crystal. It's a thinner hot sauce, a more vinegary hot sauce. I just like Crystal. I'm a Crystal guy. Brian with a Y, I completely disagree. I completely agree with you. I think it's tremendously undervalued. The hair clipper man, Blake Wall is here. Same thing played out with Palantir. Yep. Absolutely. It's the exact same people. Remember, Blake, who were the 1 and 2 in Palantir? Vanguard and BlackRock. Who were the 1 and 2 in SoFi before they ran that up? Vanguard and BlackRock. All these same players were there. State Street, the same shorts were there. The same shorts flipped. The shares on loan went down. The shares sold short went up. The exact same thing is going to happen. It's already happening. They already bought all the shares. This whole thing was a big scam, folks. Life is a big scam. Russ is now a giant. We have about 11 dogs. Wife's involved. Now, I was involved in dog rescue, just doing, supporting it. I never was able to actually go into the dog rescue, but amazing. Dog rescue people are just amazing. I mean, just a cut above. Rescue people in general, selfless people. I have a rescue golden retriever. That's awesome. Clap my dog. I love gold. My last dog, rest in peace, the Gigi Bear. She was a Belgian Malinois mix, but my brother had a amazing golden retriever many years that lived with me. I love golden retrievers. Who doesn't? I mean, who doesn't love golden retrievers? When I listen to Led Zeppelin, so do my neighbors. That was funny. Yeah, I mean, dude, you gotta do what you gotta do, and I like some Led Zeppelin too. I'm in guess jumping at. Yeah, the inverse Kramer ETF. I think they're banking savage. Goldman Sachs are fraud. Hey, they're frauds to you and I, but to those guys who work there and get those 10, 20, $50 million bonuses, like, don't forget where Anthony Noto came from. If you're stupid enough to assume they're telling you the truth for your own benefit, you get what you get. You got to take it for what it is and do the opposite. Let the other lemmings, rush off the cliff. Are you a tax CPA? Me? No. I'm not any kind of CPA. I'm not any kind of accountant. I took accounting way back when I was studying economics 30 some years ago, but I'm going to make a mistake. Many just don't. Yeah, I mean, it's exactly the right attitude, guys. You can be so afraid of making a mistake. The world doesn't end. So you sell the wrong option. You already collected premium. The worst thing that's going to happen is not that bad. Don't be afraid of the unknown. Go out, learn about it, and learn by doing. Don't just study things endlessly. At a certain point, you've studied it enough. You understand the basics. Jump in and do it. It's not going to kill you. You're going to be fine. Take a chance. Try something. Texas Pete, Billy Jack. Nice call. I love it. A mixture of Cholula, which I love Cholula on Mexican food. I just don't use it for wings. Yeah, that's a nice spicy ranch. Excellent idea. Because it's just plain ranch on wings. It's just too lowest common denominator stuff like ranch dress. And I mean, I love ranch dress. I'm not trying to talk to him, but I'm a chunky, I belong in, locked under a trailer park somewhere. But anyway, yeah, Cholula, ranch, garlic, spicy ranch. I like it. I like it. I love it. I want some more of it. Time to toast shorts. Total shares 539. 100% insiders 161. 335. Short volume 103. And remember, I think that short is not 103. It's actually about 125. The official report just came out at 115, and I just proved to you they've been, shorting more since. This is insider, but I just showed it earlier. Habanero, now you're kicking. Are you trying to say habanero? I believe so. It's not a Latino. What type of music do you prefer? Reggaeton? Cumbia? Ranchero? Thank you guys. Nala saying to swing. Dude, yeah, Nala knows his way around a pair of tongs. I'll tell you that. They make some delicious food. I've seen the photos. Like that. Taste some of that stuff. My wife has 11 dogs. That's incredible. What a fun house. I mean, I don't know if I could do 11, but 3 or 4 would be perfect for me. But anyway, I'd probably lose my mind. I have Palantir in 6 different accounts. Plan to do the same with SMCI. I have about 5 different accounts, SMCI. I'm not counting retirement. I don't think I have much in retirement. Crazy Kathy from Mark. Well, just do your own thing, man. She'll go in, she'll go out. Don't worry about it. I want to make some wings. I sold SMCX. Put SMCX probably last Friday. You know what? The loss was not. There you go. My first time tuning in. There was this guy with the regular size waters. Mitesh, regular size waters are for the birds. Never have regular size waters. Kids have it also, as kids have haircut money. We know that. They're selling clippers. They're selling clippers. Guys, I gotta go. I've talked for an hour and 5 minutes about absolutely nothing. It's been just absolutely stupid. I really appreciate you guys tuning in. I want to thank the great Alberto Berti Avilés, greatest wrench, banning everybody. I want to thank, of course, not a lurker on the bat phone, the great J Money. You know, you need a man to make your wings. You need a man to produce your terrible YouTube show. He brings it home. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining me. My name is Cornbread. My name is Mini Water. My name is Danny. My name is Karen. My name is Hurricane Lopez. My name is the Tugboat. They call me Crisco. They call me Crisco. Just don't ask why. I'll bend over and show you. Sometimes picture's worth 1,000 words or 1,000 thoughts. Do you dare enter the chamber of thoughts? Oh, this is the line ride. It simulates a real live line. Anyway, guys, I appreciate you. Thanks a lot. It's Stubby Cohiba. Thank you. Stubby Cohiba, due to the 1980s manscaping accident I had when trying to dip my apple bag in the Vitamix. My tucking tape broke loose. Old Uncle Fester fell down into that blade going 15,000 RPMs. Long story short, anywhere in South Florida this day, they call me Stubby Cohiba. Actually, a cigar cutter would have been much cleaner. That Vitamix, ooh, you can use it to make ground meat, but you definitely don't want to catch your penis in there when things are going full speed. Guys, peace. I'm out.